Hello, and welcome to the FLICK Critic Reviews and Interviews. I'm your host, John Smistad, and these are my takes on films both new and not so, spanning a wide range of genres and tastes, plus conversations with some of the coolest people in indie entertainment. Now, let us rock with this one, shall we? My guest today is a first-time director. It's hard to believe. I've seen her film, The Apology. Her name is ALISON LOCKE. This is an outstanding debut. You can see it on Amazon Prime Video. After all that, ALISON, welcome to the FLICK Critic Reviews and Interviews. We are thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I also just want to add The Apology. You can see it in lots of ways. You can also buy or rent it on iTunes or other VOD platforms, and you can stream it on SHUDDER or AMC Plus.
Right, and this is a SHUDDER. That's a great point. This is a SHUDDER production, which I got through Amazon Prime Video. So you can access it that way. Yeah, we got to make sure we let the people know where they can find The Apology, because they're going to want to watch it. I want to start off with this, and you confirm or deny if this is accurate. I read somewhere that the idea for the story for The Apology came to you in a dream.
That's true.
Is anywhere near accurate? All right.
That is accurate.
Allison, tell us about this whole deal. That's tremendously, it's wild, but really special, you know?
Yeah. I had a dream about the knock on the front door and a man on the other side saying, "I know what happened to your daughter."
Yeah. My gosh.
In the dream, I had a missing daughter, obviously. In real life, I do not have a missing daughter. I know where she is.
Thank God.
We, right.
Wow.
And then it got my, and I knew it was Christmas also in the dream.
Yeah.
And so then I woke up and thought about, just started working on who would these two people be? Why is he coming to tell her now? Who is he? What is their relationship? And just worked from there. And as I wrote, I kept found myself really thinking of identifying with this woman who had been searching for her daughter and advocating for her, and it felt similar to the emotions and the bureaucracy that I've experienced trying to advocate for my daughter who's autistic. So
yeah, I read that. Yeah.
So obviously those are light years away from each other, but that's where a lot of the impetus came from. So that happens to me here and there. I will have an idea for a story that comes from a dream, and I'm just glad that I in college I had a teacher named Joseph Giannetti who taught us how to use our dreams and mine them and that kind of thing. And I've just, every once in a while, I kind of really go back to sort of I don't know, just trying to put myself in a headspace to be open to whatever the subconscious is going to give me.
Understood. And the creative process, you never quite know
where something's going to come from. Sometimes it's a dream. Yeah. Sometimes something you're just seeing out the window, like somebody says something to you. It's all the kernel though, because the real work is really like sitting down and really mining things and rewriting 60 times and all of that good stuff.
Sure.
So,
this is a film, and I wrote this in my review. There is clearly the sensibility and the soul of a mom coming through in The Apology. I think that's fair to say. I watched this movie, and it struck me after having done so that it was important. This could have been an easy slasher, blood and guts, chasing around the house, and that could have been about it, and that's fine. And there's plenty of those films out there. Some are good, some are not. It clearly was important to you, especially with your first film, ALISON, that this film represent more than that. Can you talk about that?
No, thank you for getting that. That's absolutely true, because I love a lot of those kinds of revenge tales. I love horror films and stuff, and I think some folks have expected that it was going to be that kind of thing. But for me, the thing that was most interesting to me was the idea that these people would both be approaching this situation with what they needed and their own versions of sincerity.
Yeah.
And the process, like, I was like, my revenge fantasy would be getting the guy to apologize and to understand what he did. It wouldn't be to, like, eviscerate him.
Yeah, and as we see, that it seems like that rarely happens in open court or just any time after these horror incidents. But
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you hear families always say when they've lost someone, or someone they love has been hurt, is that they always say, I just want them to understand what they did.
Yeah.
I want them to get it. And I felt like that's so much what we're all sort of wrestling with in our culture right now is really just thinking, wanting us to hear each other, and to really like own up to mistakes when we make them. Now, obviously this is an operatic level mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. We're not going to give away any plot points here, but good Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. So so that's why it was important to me to make it more about these people and their attempts at connection.
Yeah. Mission accomplished. Wow, you could have done worse with your cast. Anna Gunn as Darlene. A lot of folks know her as one of the continuing standouts in one of the greatest streaming series of all time, Breaking Bad. She's been in a ton of movies and a lot of TV. And then Linus Roach. A lot of people may not know him. He is a veteran, really well-respected British stage actor, but he's also been in a whole slew of films. Got a lot of experience in television. And then, like I say, Janeane Garofalo. I don't even know where to start on this. You must have thought, why me? Why am I so damn lucky here? Just talk about working with these three pros and what that experience was like for you, particularly as a first-time director.
Yes, well, I think I think every creative person wrestles with the why me, and at some point I started to switch that to why not me.
There you go.
Because that's you have to do that. You have to believe that you have something to say that's worth saying and exploring before anybody else can sign on to that too.
It's so hard to do for so many creatives, right? But I hear it.
And it's universal. I mean, I've met folks who are far more, who are quite established in their careers, and they still feel like it's always going to be taken from them at any moment. But I think that's an occupational hazard or necessity, that if you're a storyteller and your job is to connect with the human condition and the craziness that is, that it will put you a little on edge about your worthiness to do so. But to
yourself, probably most.
So working with these actors, it definitely was quite validating to get to work with these incredibly accomplished and talented people and soulful people. But it really was very validating to go from and like just rich to go from being home with my daughter all the time to making a film with all of the talent in front and behind the camera that are just they're so good. They know what they're doing. And it was so basically I just kind of kept it simple, and at the beginning just had a lot of really great conversations with each of them about who these characters were, what I was trying to do with the film, the sort of tone, and then went especially with Anna, went line by line. What this line means, like all of that stuff, whatever questions that she had or suggestions that she had, and she had a lot of great ideas. And so did Linus, and so did Janeane, and just went through it and just approached, just human to human. Let's just go through the work and just do the work. They didn't need me much on set, because by that point we had talked so much, and they're so good that it would be more like, are we quite hitting the right tone here and those sorts of things? But
in the right spot and whatnot. Sure.
Yeah.
That's great though, that you understood preparation had to happen, or it wasn't going to be
it's everything.
The production story that you wanted.
Yeah, it's everything, especially for such a short shoot, and it was my first feature. We did 16 days.
Wow.
It's like, that's just not enough. And so it was like, we knew that I'm a prepper to the extreme anyway.
Good.
On top of that, you get that
it makes for better results generally, obviously, as you have found.
Yes.
Let us know again, please, all the platforms that we can watch, and I have watched, obviously, The Apology, because people really need to see this movie. It's a hell of a film.
Thank you so much. Yes, you can watch it. You can stream it on SHUDDER or AMC Plus, both of which offer free trials to try them out. Highly recommend. And not just because my movie is on there. I'm genuinely a huge SHUDDER fan. I was very excited to find that we were going to be on there. And then you can also rent or buy it on VOD platforms like iTunes and Amazon and things like that. And you can also contact me, as you did, good sir, on social media, on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at ALISON LOCKE. So reach out and let me know what you think about the film. Hope you like it.
ALISON LOCKE, first-time director, writer of The Apology. Thank you for being with us. This has been a blast, man. Thanks.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. Now I ask that you please subscribe and be notified of my continuous new episode announcements. As always, you can read all of my flick reviews on my long-running blog, The Quick Flick Critic, at this URL you now see displayed on your screen right down here. So until next time, make it a great day and make it count. Goodbye, everybody.
Aww.